Hi, I'm Kevin Gallagher. We live in Big Flats, New York, and this is my hybrid hot water heater that I installed last year, 2021. It replaced a natural gas hot water heater that we had that was about 26 years old, so it lasted us a long time, but was on the fritz, and we needed a new one. So we started looking into something that would be more environmentally friendly, not using any resources that are not renewable. And we did this in conjunction with getting solar panels as well. So this unit is a 65-gallon unit that replaced a 40-gallon unit that we had before. The first hour rating for this is 75 gallons, so it's a little bit slower than a natural gas unit. But this should have enough water. There's 4 of us living in the house, so it has enough water to get us through 4 consecutive showers, which is the goal. So I installed the unit myself, which was not terribly difficult. I would not recommend it for anyone that doesn't already have the electrical skills or plumbing skills, or can't easily it feels intimidated by that. But if you're up for that, or if you're replacing it from an electric unit, it becomes much easier to not have to run the electrical for it. So the old unit was much smaller than this. I think the older ones have a lot less insulation, as well as this top part here has is part of the hybrid system, so this is where the heat pump is located. It does also have electric and conduction coils in it as well, so you can use those in tandem. So you can choose different settings on here. So you have high demand settings, eco modes, heat pump only settings, vacation mode. So it'll use a certain percentage of each of those to try to keep up with demand. So if you're in high demand, it's going to use a lot more electricity than if it's in the heat pump mode only. So the unit's much smaller. Obviously, we don't have an exhaust for this unit like you would have for a natural gas, because there's no fossil fuels being burned in house here. So that was shut off, and then the natural gas inlet was shut off as well. And then I had to run 240 voltage from the panel, so we had to put a new switch in there. Our box was big enough to accommodate that, and that's what's running down through this spot here. So just kind of overview of the unit here. So that it has this panel here which controls the temperature. It'll give you any warnings if there's any problems with the unit. You can change the mode in it. Make sure it's connected, because it is Wi-Fi enabled. It connects to an app that you can change the temperature. You can set up vacation mode. You can run a schedule for high demand periods. And it'll give you all the alerts if there's any problems with it. So this is the inlet here. The hot water is coming out through this insulated spot right here. And then what's different that you wouldn't have in any other kind of hot water heater is you have a condensation tube coming out of here, which is actually running into a condensation pump. You could run this if you had a drain in the floor. You could run this right into the drain. But this runs and then just goes out through the normal septic system. It hooks up to the same spot that our washing machine hooks up to as well. The system is extremely efficient. It says on the side here that its estimated yearly cost is about $155. The app is also nice because it will tell us how much energy it is using, and we can get a daily graph of how much it's using, as well as a monthly, a yearly, and stuff like that. So I estimated, based off our usage for the 4 of us in the house, at an estimated 12 cents per kilowatt hour. That is probably costing us somewhere around $120 if we didn't have solar panels. But we have solar panels that are offsetting all of our electricity. So the actual cost to us is nothing. We were probably paying, I estimated before, that we were probably paying somewhere around $240 or something like that. So the savings is about $100 a month. So for us, the break-even point comes quite quickly, because the actual savings was that full $240 a month. The unit costs somewhere around $1,700. It was on sale. That included, we paid about $100 or $200 in shipping to have it delivered here because the unit can't be moved except for when it's upright. So it's not going to fit in a hatchback. You could put it in a pickup truck and tie it down if you keep it upright. And then I probably put another $200 in parts for PEX hookups, the water being drained from the condensation. So all in about $2,000. We got $700 rebate from NYSEG, which came a couple months after, and then another $300 tax deduction from New York State, which came at the end of the year. So out-of-pocket cost at the end of the year ended up being about $1,000, which compared to our plumber said that he would put a new natural gas hot water heater in to replace the same unit we had before, I think for around $1,300. So doing this myself and with the incentives, it was actually cheaper than doing that. Yeah, the unit works quite well. It's for 4 of us, the 65 gallons seems to work very well. Although the difference between a 40-gallon unit at 65, I think they have a 50 and an 80 or 85. The actual energy cost is not very different between all of the different sizes. Let's see. So this unit is a little bit different than some of the other ones. It does have a red little coil that goes around here that's a moisture sensor, so that it will let us know if there is a problem with it, if there's any water that's leaking out. And it has an automatic shut off, this leak guard right here. So so the inlet, so the water coming in will automatically shut off, so you're not putting any more water in if you had a major leak in it. And I did put the pan in here too, so if the water was dripping off, that instead of running away, it would run right towards that sensor and let us know. So as soon as you get any kind of error message, we have it set up so it's like a text, an email, and the app buzzes, and it starts beeping very loudly too, so you know if there's any problems with it. Anything else you want me to talk about?
I think that's mostly it. Is it get fairly noisy? What are some of the benefits? And do you have to put in a basement, or what are some of the...
Yeah, so the unit really needs ample space, so that it's drawing air from the top up here. Here's our filter up here. It's drawing air from the top, and this is the outlet. So the hybrid, the hot water heating system wants to draw in warm air. I mean, that's how it works most efficiently. So you want to have it in a space that's big enough and a space that's warm. So you can't put it outside, you can't put it in a garage, especially in New York. You can use ductwork with the inlet and the outlet if you want to pull air from somewhere else, depending on where you were going to locate it. If you were putting it like in a closet and you needed more space or wasn't enough air around them, you could duct it out to outside or another room like that. The unit does make some noise, but it's fairly quiet. We don't hear it upstairs at all. You might be able to get it to make some noise. Yeah, there it is. So it's quite quiet. And like I said, it'll let off cold air in here, so it'll kind of cool off the room of whatever room that it's in.
Is it great after a running workout?
Yes, that's what I was saying. If we're done running in the summer, we comes down here and stand and get some of that free AC, if you will. But yeah, so it's not that noisy, and we just placed it right where the old hot water heater was. Although maybe you could do a different configuration based on your setup. But it was much easier running that from, that we already had the hot water to the cold water already set up here. I took out, it was all copper before, and I took this out and put in PEX, because PEX is super easy to install, and just installed it right into the copper pipe, the copper piping there. Yeah.
I think that sums it up. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for rounding out our last heat pump tour of part 11 to finish off our series with the HeatSmart FLX South program. Maybe we'll see you another one of these days. Thank you. Bye.